So you've got more from the first book of Kings for me? Yes, sir, I do. Amazing. So who's picking up the baton now that Solomon's gone? One of his sons, Rehoboam. Okay, and what's his deal? He's a big jerk. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. So the wisest man of all time has an asshole for a son. That's what we're going with. Well, okay then. Now remember, when Solomon followed his wife's detestable foreign gods, Yahweh got pissed. Oh, wise Solomon. So now, as a punishment, Yahweh decides to pick out 3 unrelated guys to cause trouble for Israel. Oh, merciful Yahweh. Now, 2 of those guys really don't seem to end up doing much, but one of them, Jeroboam, turns out to be a bit of a problem. Didn't you say Solomon's son is named Rehoboam? Yes. And this troublemaker God has picked out is named Jeroboam. That is correct. Oh, this is going to be fun. We thought it'd be a hoot if we had 2 similar sounding names that'll confuse our audience. Oh, you're so evil. And aren't Jeroboam and Rehoboam also names for certain larger sizes of wine bottles? Hey, shut up. So anyway, some prophet named Ahijah sort of randomly shows up to tell Jeroboam that he's going to be given 10 of the 12 tribes of Israel. This is a bit out of left field, isn't it? What do you mean? Well, who is this Rehoboam? Jeroboam. Who is this Jeroboam? He's one of Solomon's officials who's gotten a reputation as being a solid work manager. Okay. And, well, that's about it. What do you mean that's it? That's really all the backstory we gave him. On that graphic that was up earlier, there was all kinds of backstory on the other 2 guys. I'm sorry, graphic? But you said those 2 really don't make much of an impact. That's right. But Jeroboam, whom you've indicated is going to play a much larger role in the plot, has virtually no backstory. Exactly. Interesting narrative choice. So why this guy and not somebody else? I don't know. Did he have some dispute with Solomon that never got resolved or something? We don't seem to have written anything like that. Is there anything else about this guy that would justify handing over to him most of the tribes of Israel? We briefly mentioned that he was a man of standing. That's it? That's it. He's not fulfilling a prophecy. No, he's not the chosen one. He's just a guy. Wow. So anyway, the prophet Ahijah tears his cloak into 12 pieces and gives 10 of them to Jeroboam. Why? To symbolize 10 tribes being taken away from Solomon for all that wise insanity he engaged in by following those detestable foreign gods. Ahijah couldn't do that without tearing up his garment. He could, but it'll be a more iconic and memorable episode this way. Really, have you tried tearing fabric into pieces? It might take longer than you think. Look, I don't need a demo. This is just a quick scene. Well, that's my point. Tearing this into 12 pieces might not be quick. It really doesn't matter. Can we just move on? With our primitive technology, we can't weave delicate fabrics, so our crude textiles are pretty damn sturdy. Oh my god, I hate it when you do that. Is it an old, tattered cloak that Ahijah's tearing up? That would help a lot. No, we specifically describe it as new. Great. Well, shit, this is starting to piss me off. Good, let's just leave it be. So during the scene with Ahijah and Jeroboam, is Jeroboam just standing there for an hour while Ahijah does his happy horse shit with the cloak? There's nothing in here about that. Because dicking around with this thing is going to absolutely kill the flow of the scene. Oh, to hell with this. God, finally. Maybe you should add that Ahijah perforated his cloak ahead of time so as to make tearing it a lot easier. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Great. So, you said 10 of the pieces go to Jeroboam to symbolize the 10 tribes he's going to be given. Precisely. And what about the other 2 pieces and the tribes they symbolize? Ahijah says that God is leaving 1 tribe to Solomon's son Rehoboam in honor of the fact that he's a descendant of David. Okay, that's 11 accounted for. What about the 12th piece? Huh. What? We forgot to write what the 12th piece is for. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. So you wrote this whole ridiculous scene and you didn't even end it with a logical resolution for the 12th piece? Correct. Oh, wow. What? So Solomon tries to kill Jeroboam, but Jeroboam escapes to Egypt. Whoa, how did Solomon find out about Ahijah's prophecy? Oh, that is completely unaddressed. And why did Rehoboam go to Jeroboam go to Egypt? No idea. Oh, leaving gaps in the plot everywhere is tight. Now when Solomon finally dies an indeterminate amount of time later, Jeroboam returns from Egypt. All right, and now that Rehoboam is king, Jeroboam and an assembly of all Israel go to address him. About what? Well, see, things have been pretty bad for Israel, so they want Rehoboam to make some changes now that he's the new king. Why have things been bad for Israel? Apparently, Solomon had put a heavy yoke on them, subjecting them to harsh labor. Very wise of Solomon. Yeah. So Jeroboam and the assembly of Israel ask for a lighter yoke. And if they get it, they'll be happy to serve Rehoboam. Well, great. Actually, it's not so great because Rehoboam ignores the advice of his elder council. Uh-oh. Yep, the elders agree he should go lighter on the people, but Rehoboam's close friends tell him he should go even harder on them. Why would Rehoboam's friends tell him to go harder on the people? That sounds like a great way to incite a revolt, because that's pretty much what God is going for here. What? See, God had Abijah give Jeroboam that prophecy, remember? That he would receive 10 of the 12 tribes? Right. And this is how it's going to happen. You're telling me that God is pulling the strings here? He's a total puppet master. Oh, free will, go to hell. Yeah. So God's engineering this whole division of Israel himself. He sure is. The 10 northern tribes all tell Rehoboam to go F himself. And now he's got only the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. Wait, he gets Benjamin too? Oh, yeah, sorta. So is Benjamin the missing piece from that stupid ripped cloaked analogy from earlier? I guess we'll assume that for now, but we never spell it out. Maybe you could go back and spell it out so that your goofy analogy doesn't come off so half-assed. I'll get to it later. So, Jeroboam is crowned king of the new northern nation of Israel, while Rehoboam rules the southern kingdom of Judah. Sounds like a pretty roundabout way to get your new chosen man crowned king. For the ultimate intelligence in the universe, this was super easy, barely an inconvenience. Whatever. So now that God has split his chosen people into two factions, I imagine they're going to immediately go to war. Rehoboam and Judah immediately prepare for war, yes. Wonderful. But God calls it off. Really? Yep, he tells everyone to go home. That's quite a change of pace for the big guy upstairs. So I guess he must have bigger plans for Jeroboam than having him engage in the usual brain-dead stupidity that these idiot kings generally fall into. Yeah, about that. I mean, I'm getting the feeling Jeroboam is going to be a special guy. Let's not be too hasty. If you think about it, he's been plucked from obscurity and over other seemingly better suited candidates, much like David was. David and Jeroboam are very, very different people, seriously. And like he did with David, we see God intervening quite a bit more than usual on Jeroboam's behalf in order to bring about his kingship. Oh boy. So I look forward to the glorious stewardship of Israel in the capable hands of God's chosen successor to Solomon, the magnificent King Rehoboam. Jeroboam. Damn it. So, be honest here. Is it really going to make any difference? No.